Hello everyone, I'm here with a new process video today, and this is a 6x8 layout. This one I have two 4x6 horizontal pockets, and this one will be a full 6x8. I do have an enlarged photo here. This is a 5x7, and I did it with lovely metallic finish. Look at that, it came out so beautifully. So that will be featured on its own over here, and I need some background paper. Obviously I need a pocket over here, or a pocket card over here. And then with this photo, what I would like to do is cut off as much as I can over here to get rid of this person. And then it looks like, let's see here, I won't be able to do all of it, so I would love to be able to put some kind of embellishment there to cover her up, because I really want this to be the focus. And this was part of an exhibit called The Light Show at the Art Museum in Denver. I actually went there for the Monet exhibit, but this was there at the same time, and when I kind of read the board about what it was, it sounded interesting, so I decided to go in there. And it was certainly very modern art type of thing, which normally is not my genre. That tends to be not what I like, but this was really cool. I liked the way they did it, so I want to scrap it. First thing I need to do is go through my 4x6 travel related cards here and see if I have anything that will work. If I don't have anything in there, I'll go to my generic 4x6. If that doesn't work, then I'll just go into my paper scraps and probably make something myself, but I'm hoping that I can find something that's already made that will go with the photos. When I went through my travel 4x6 cards, I didn't find anything that I thought worked really well. I was hoping for something green, and what I had just did not go. So then I went into my normal cards and I found this one, and it's actually a mix of blues and greens on there, but I love it. And it gives me plenty of room to journal. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's actually a slight pattern here. It has dots in the background, like some bullet journals come with. And so it will help me write more easily because I can use that as a grid and not have to make my own lines. So I have that, plus I could embellish on it if I wanted to, and the colors I think work pretty well with what's in there without being distracting. So I'm going to go with this one. So then my next step is picking out background paper for this. So I pulled out a bunch of 6x8 papers I have. I have a whole bin of them because I would say 90% of my paper now I keep as either 6x12 or 6x8, because I do pocket pages now. I rarely do 12x12. So in the 6x8 ones, I found this. And at first I thought maybe that would be too busy, but I liked the color because it matched well with this. But now I think it might be okay. I think I could actually get away with just using it on here without matting it on anything, or I could do a very, very thin matte or do washi or something with a solid color to break up the background. But I do like the paper, so I think I want to try using it. And if I start putting it together and it doesn't look good or it's distracting, then I reserve the right to change my mind. When I cut the photo to 6 inches across, I was able to get rid of part of this person, but you can still see her. So I definitely need to find something, some kind of creative way to cover that up, because I really don't want that in there. This was so lovely that I just want it to be that. Okay, I pulled out some circular elements I had because I knew some of them would probably be big enough to cover up what I needed to cover over here. And I tried this one first. I like the color a little bit better. It's a little more sagey green, but it's slightly too small. So now I'm going to go with this one. This is more of a lime green, but it's not too far off, so I think it'll be fine. But it does cover up more. I may have to overlap slightly a little bit of the photo, but if I get creative with what I do there, I'm okay with that. And then I still have all this extra room over here that grounds the photo, but I could do something else with it if I wanted to. There it is attached, and there was enough of the excess left that I cut it off and kept it. So I could maybe off-center it over here and use the other piece of it, or I could use it on here somehow, maybe not here, but maybe on the upper photo. We'll see. I did decide to use the remaining part of that over here, so I like that I'm able to work in the color on both sides, which is great. Now there's some of that green in all three spots, which is fantastic. Plus there's enough room that I could put an embellishment on it, or I could stamp, and it's not quite as big as over here, but it's enough room to do something. When I was trying to think of what else to do over here, I pulled out some embellishments I have, and I have these chipboard stickers, and I think these are from Citrus Twist. Not positive, but they look like it. And I realized that this has a very light purple in it, and then there's some light purple in here as well. And I have this, which says a good story, and I like that because, again, I wasn't here to see this, but it captured my attention, and so I went in there and I want to write about that. I wanted to see if I could work in some more purple. So I pulled out two types of washi here, and I actually sadly quickly realized this one is much too orchid. That does not go. It's way too bright and off color. But I have this one. This one is more of a light lavender. So I'm wondering if I can fit it in somehow. The only problem is it's much wider. Now I could cut it in half if I wanted to. There's a stripe there, so that makes it somewhat easy. So I'll have to try it and see what I think, but I really like the color that it might bring in. It's definitely darker than this, but it has the tones here and here, so I'm hoping I can get away with it. When I took off part of the washi, I didn't like the way it looked down here. It didn't go, it was too much. But over here with some space in between these, I actually do like it. So I'm going to leave that there, and I will just make sure that I either start my journaling far enough over, or I'll just journal around that, or I may add another embellishment on top and just, again, work my journaling around it because I do like the way it looks, and I think it would be fun to maybe have something else there. I pulled out another sheet of cardstock stickers from my stash, and this was actually one that was on there. And I remember when these came, it was in some kit, I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'll have to save it for a sunset or something like that. Well, this is called the Light Show, and look how well that matches. So I think I'm actually going to, take this and overlap it here. So it'll say today, golden. And I love that it's circular because now look at, I have a visual triangle with all of those circles. And I was trying to think of how to possibly fill some space up here. I pulled out my container that has a lot of my rubber embellishments that are sayings and phrases, and then I also have some acrylic ones that are in there. And anything basically that's not related to travel that fits this type of embellishment goes in here. And what I found was this, and I don't remember where I got this. I want to say Felicity Jane, but I can't swear to it. But it looks like their stuff. But it's a rubber embellishment, so I could just put liquid glue on the back. I love that it's a little bit tone on tone, but it's enough different that you can see it well. And I think I want to just offset it like that. And then I probably will find some other little third thing to put here just to make a nice cluster up in this corner. That is adhered now and drying, and so while I'm waiting for that, I want to pick out some things that are going to go here and here. On this side, I think I want to work in something black because I have this really dark photo here, but that doesn't really appear anywhere else. There's a tiny bit of print there, but until I journal, there's no other black that'll be on here. So I have pulled out my little container that I keep on the side of my Rascal cart, and I'm going to see if there are any little black hearts that I can use in here, even if it's just an outline, something so that I can work in this theme of loving this, but then still find an embellishment. When I went through the stuff that I had, I found two things. I found a couple of these that look like that, which I thought might be okay, but when I held them up, I didn't like how white it was against an already white background. But this, I have one of those, and it's pretty much perfectly sized. I can do it sort of off kilter a little bit, and I would still have room for a little staple there. So I'm going to do that. And then up here, I think I'm actually not going to do an embellishment. I think that I will probably just stamp a little phrase there instead. I put the mini staples in both of these, and then I placed this a little higher than I planned just so that I could stamp a tiny little word in there if I want. I think it would be fine if I left it, but it just gives me the option that I can do it if I want to, and then I'm still going to stamp here. All right, I have picked out the stamps I want to use. For this up here, I am going to do this one that says, it's kind of hard to see, but it says surprise, because it was a surprise. I wasn't planning to see it, and that will fit just fine right there. And then over here, I needed something really, really tiny, so I think I'm going to use this set, and I'm just going to use the word now, and that will also fit very well. and it'll also bring in a little bit of black ink. All right, so I completed the stamping on both of these, and I think this one is done. So here's a close-up of the left-hand side, and then a close-up of the full 6x8, or yeah, 6x8, sorry. 6x8 right side. There we go, and that's another one done for Denver. Thanks for watching.